Hi, I'm Rob Boyd, an English photographer from the UK. I decided to create this podcast series talking to international photographers whose work I truly love. I realised I knew nothing about these amazing people apart from their names and their stunning work. So I created a set of hopefully entertaining questions that finds out who they are and what they love. Hi Kev, nice to see you.
Hello Rob, nice to see you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you could start with your name and your Instagram name, that'd be amazing.
Okay, it's Kev Morris and I'm at Street Art CBG.
Now,
CBG.
I'm guessing that's short for Cambridge, is it?
That is short for Cambridge. It's it kind of like it's the aviation term for airport code for Cambridge. So CBG. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I actually work in aviation as well, so I've got that connection. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah, good. I tried to guess, and I'm glad I got it right. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So have you got a website?
I don't have a website. No. Not one of those things that I consider having now. I had one some years ago for a different reason, and my photography has evolved into more of a pastime and a hobby. So that's not really needed now. So that's done.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'll get it completely. Absolutely. So I'd say, where do you live? I guess you live in Cambridge?
Just on the outskirts, University City of Cambridge. I live in just a small village just outside. Easy commute in, about 10, 15 minutes. So, it's nice. It's quiet. Not a lot goes on in the village. We've got a really lively village pub. Yeah, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
idyllic.
good.
So, where are you from originally?
Born in West Sussex. I was born in a town called Burgess Hill. It's just north of Brighton, just below Crawley, Gatwick way. But I was a baby then, so my parents then moved to Surrey. There's just a small village called Lingfield, which is famous for the racehorse circuit there.
Right.
Yeah, horse racing there. And then I moved again. They moved when I was about 10 to Sussex again. So I moved about a bit when I was quite young.
Yeah. But it's always been rural, is it? It's always been quiet.
Yeah, always been rural. Maybe sort of a larger town the last part of that sort of period. But yeah, it's been quite quiet.
Yeah, nice. I mean, my kids are grown up in the middle of nowhere, so it's quite nice to be there, and then go to a city or a town when you especially for photography, you appreciate it more when you get into a town.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely a lot more opportunities when you get into a bigger town.
Yeah. So, if I visited you, where would you take me to shoot?
Have you been to Cambridge?
Yeah, I did a wedding actually in the what do you call it? The university.
Yeah. So if you haven't done a lot of Cambridge, then I'd definitely take you around Cambridge. But to be fair, I kind of I'll get a better day out if I go into London. There's definitely a lot more opportunities there. So I'll probably start off, we'd pitch up somewhere near Shoreditch, have a walk down Brick Lane and maybe Spitalsfield, and then down to Whitechapel, cross the river, be at Borough Market, and then maybe finish the day off at the Leek Street Tunnel. So anywhere in between that sort of areas, I really enjoy. That's kind of like my go-to.
Yeah, and I see you like street art.
Nice.
I see you like street art. Obviously, the Leek Street and everything else. Yeah, I'm totally addicted to colour and street art, and I totally see where you're coming from.
Yeah, not a lot of opportunities in Cambridge for street art, unfortunately. That's kind of like why you need to why I need to get out, get into London, and that's where it's all at. Yeah,
cool. Well, I normally ask if there's anything to visit as a tourist, but Cambridge is pretty well known for it's traditional stuff.
Yeah. There's some beautiful university and colleges there. The grounds are literally they're amazing.
Yeah.
You've got King's Chapel, of course, and all the narrow streets around that area. Really good to get down to, even down to the River Cam. Yeah, it's already got the little quirky shops, the bookshops. And of course you've got the famous Eagle pub there as well, with the biologists. They discovered DNA there.
Yeah.
And then, there's some great architecture. You've got the Fitzwilliam Museum, which is amazing. And then for a quick tip for anybody who does want to go to Cambridge, if you want a good aerial view, good viewpoint, get up to the Grand Arcade Shopping Centre, the top floor of the car park. You can see a lot of Cambridge from above, and it's free.
There you go. That's a good tip.
That's what we do.
Yeah, it's amazing actually. Finding out about DNA in a pub. That's so British.
Yeah. Well, that's when they announced it. They said,
Yeah. Of
by the
course.
way, yeah,
Yeah, right, right.
this is what we
Yeah,
found.
over a pint.
Yeah,
There's a bit of DNA. Yeah, excellent.
over a pint. Yeah. God knows how many pints they had, but there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite destination in the world? Where do you love the most?
Oh, that's a hard one, but I'm a big fan of Italy. Definitely a firm favourite. Love the food, the language, the culture. The weather is almost always okay because the time of the year that we go. Yeah, I love it. Every region is slightly different. Just offers so many photo opportunities. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, 100%. To be fair, I've only been to Rome. That's the only city I've been to, so I've got to rectify that. I've got to get a lot, go out a lot more places.
Yeah, Italy is just more than Rome. All roads lead to Rome, but yeah, it's an amazing place. I love it.
Yeah, brilliant. So, where would you most like to visit? What's on your bucket list?
I'm going to say Japan. Everyone says Japan, don't they?
Well, we've had this conversation.
You know what? It is on the bucket list.
Yeah, because it's an amazing place.
It is on the bucket list, but no. So I'm going to say Northern India. Do the Golden Triangle, which is Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. I just fancy all those chaotic streets of Delhi, the street vendors and the historical lanes. I just fancy doing a lot of exploring around that area. The Taj Mahal and the Red Stone Fort, Agra Fort. Yeah, I think that would just be amazing. Lots of culture, lots of photo opportunities, the busy bazaars and the craft markets of Jaipur. Yeah, vibrant, busy, chaotic. Yeah,
and the people get offended as they don't have their photo taken, so that's always a bonus.
Yeah, well, take it and run.
Yeah, brilliant. So, if you could time travel, where and when would you visit?
God, that's a hard question. One I had to think about quite a bit. Another favourite destination of mine is New York City. I think taking myself back to the late 20s and early 30s during the Prohibition era, visit the secret illegal bars, the speakeasies, 21 Club on West 52nd Street. I think that's just the fashion back then was so smart, with the cool jazz scene as well. And of course, all the Art Deco buildings, all the skyscrapers that were being built in that time, the Empire State, Chrysler and the Rockefeller, just witnessing them going up and the chaos that must be all around at that point and the old cars and I think it'd be an amazing time to do photography. I think it'd be brilliant. Yeah, so that's where I'll go back to.
Yeah, I can see you in the suit and the hat. I think that'd be amazing. Maybe not the Tommy gun.
Yeah, a little trilby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want that. Can you imagine?
Good choice. Yeah, love it. Brilliant. Yeah. So if you could photograph anyone in history, who would you shoot?
I know someone came up with this recently. Definitely with them. Barack Obama, totally true statesman. It's cool, funny, he's down to earth. I think just spending some time with him, you'll get so much energy and some really cool photography with him. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, totally get that. Yeah, it's a popular choice, but for a very good reason. A bit like Japan. Japan's a popular choice as a destination because it's a dream. Yeah, brilliant. Tell me a fun fact or a story about yourself.
Well, I've had to be careful here. So in my job some years ago, about 20 odd years ago, myself and my colleague got ourselves into a bit of a situation where we had to help pull out of a minibus someone who got stuck in it.
Oh, wow.
And it was one Luciano Pavarotti, the famous opera singer. A little bit chunky.
Yeah.
So he got stuck in the back of our minivan. Yeah, that was a funny moment. I mean, he was very gracious. He was very kind. He thought it was quite funny himself.
Good.
So, yeah, that was a little fun fact.
Yeah,
some years ago.
Yeah, what was he doing in the minivan in the first place? I got to ask.
Well, he flew in on a private jet, and we had to take him from his jet to the front of our terminal so he could get his transport.
Sure. And then he slipped. And
the problem was our van wasn't really big enough, spacious enough for him.
Yeah, so fair enough. Yeah.
Good I grabbed an arm. My mate grabbed another arm, and we pulled like hell to get him out.
Yeah. What a fun fact. There you go. Claim to fame.
There you go.
So what's your favourite word? I know it's a weird question.
Oh, God. I like everyday words or place names that have a hidden meaning. So Piccadilly. That's my chosen word, as in Piccadilly Circus, the famous London landmark. So where did it get its name from? The Piccadille. That's the 18th century stiff lace collar, think Elizabethan and Blackadder.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that. So a tailor who made his fortune selling these fashion items, he built a grand house in that area, which we now know as Piccadilly Circus.
Well, there you go.
So,
see?
Piccadilly.
Yeah.
That's my word, and it sounds nice.
Yeah, it does. It's really cool. And also, I love learning stuff like that. It's great. I would never have known that in a million years.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, because it's an international podcast, teach me a new word or a new saying that I may not know.
Ex-forces. So we used to have a lot of words that we would associate with different things. And one springs to mind that we used to say all the time was minger or minging. Obviously, a lot of other people use it nowadays. Has several meanings. We used it a lot for, I got minging last night, very drunk, or that takeaway. God, it was minging. It was awful. Yeah. So there you go, minging.
Yeah, excellent. No, like that one. That's brilliant. So when did photography click for you? Obviously, excuse the pun, but when did you realise you could take a good photo?
Oh, early on. So I've been doing photography probably most of my life. When I was quite young, I always had a camera in my hand growing up. And I was very lucky to have had the opportunity to study and take exams at secondary school. The facilities were excellent there. We had a great studio with all the lights and a fully kitted out darkroom. So I learned how to shoot film, develop it, print it, and my tutor was very engaging and inspiring. So he used to set us up with different projects, and that's when I became interested in candid photography.
Yeah.
I had a particular project to do, and that meant I had to visit local factories. So I asked them if I could shoot there, and that became my exam project. That progressed sort of like naturally to street photography from quite an early age. So, for 13, 14, 15, I was out and about, and I was doing that. Yeah, it was great. It was a good time.
Yeah, good wealth of experience under your belt.
I enjoyed the whole process. Yeah, I just enjoyed the whole process. Something that I felt I was quite good at. That's sort of when it clicked, really. Sort of. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's amazing how quickly it goes. Like I said before, with a camera in your hand, it just flies by, doesn't it? You lose hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Excellent. So, what's your favourite 3 photos you've taken, and why do you like them?
Well, they are pinned to the top of my Instagram.
Yeah.
So first one is, if you are looking there, you'll see 3 characters. One is of a person inside a gorilla suit and 2 ladies either side. It was shot just outside Buckingham Palace on the Victoria Memorial, the big fountain there. It was a hot summer's day, hundreds of people around, just hundreds of people, tourists. But there was these 3 sat on the step, just gazing out, looking pretty mundane, pretty bored. But all 3 of them, including the gorilla, had the same expression. Yeah, that's my top one. That's my top favourite. The other one I took at King's Cross Station, the very dynamic building with the architecture there. It's great. So that's another one of my favourite ones. And my third one being of the London bus, London double-decker, shot down a cobbled street. People think that it's actually colour selected, but it's not. It's as shot, just processed through Lightroom.
Yeah.
So that's another one of my favourite shots. But it's funny because that kind of like, it changes all the time. You sort of like, you take a photo, you process it, you think, oh, yeah, I like that shot now. I think it's better than the ones I had before.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, you just go back. So it does change, but yeah, they're the ones that I like.
It's nice to have that backlog, isn't it? It's nice to have that choice. It's nice to be able to go back and look at older work. Yeah, actually, it was all right, that's the thing.
And that's a good thing about Instagram, isn't it? That you can pin up your favourite shot and you can change them as well as you sort of get bored of them or whatever. But I must say, get onto the laptop and look at Instagram on the bigger screen.
Yeah.
It changes. You can see the quality of people's work instead of just, on the phone. So.
Well, I've got the best of both worlds because obviously I get to see, everyone sends me their work. I put it on my TV, so I put it on a big screen.
yeah.
see how much detail, and so then you've got it, and when you watch your YouTube videos, if you put them on a bigger screen, on your TV, it's great because you've got YouTube on there. You get to see all
Yeah,
the
definitely.
details and everything else instead of a tiny little screen. So yeah, I totally get that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with your
Yeah,
work
no,
as well,
brilliant.
I mean, I can't tell whether, I think you do more black and white than you do color just. It's a sort of a just very mixture, and there's a good amount of black and white, but also there's color. So you obviously decide which shots you want to change at that point, I guess.
Yeah. I've always sort of favoured the black and white side of it. I can sort of like, you can tweak the contrasts and get more detail and get more interest out of the shadow areas. Yeah, but there's some shots that definitely have to stay in colour, I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
I try to sort of have a varied gallery if I can.
Yeah, no,
Just
absolutely.
depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the scene and everything else, I guess, as well. But the I was looking, I said, well, is it more black and white? Well, it's not. I think it's a mixture of all over the time. But yeah, I guess you start with the black and white, and then if or you do go from color and then turn it into black and white.
It just depends, really. It depends
Yeah.
on the mood. It depends on the scene.
Yeah.
I don't always convert over. Some I have, and I look at it and I think, well, yeah, you know what? It's street art. It needs to be kept in colour.
Of course.
Or there's other, other street art things that I prefer to look at them in black and white. I just think
I guess it's the
more,
texture or
more interesting.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, excellent. So, what advice would you give a new photographer?
Know your camera.
Yeah.
If you have a camera, obviously there's a lot of great photographers now just using their camera phones, whichever make and model they be. But get to know how it works, how it can work for you to achieve the type of image that you want. Get out, practice, practice, practice. Just take loads of shots. Don't worry about if they don't come out right. Look at them, see where you've gone wrong, go back out, do it again. Just keep practicing. Read books, watch videos. It's great on YouTube now. You can just find practically everything that you want to find on photography. So that's really quite cool. But yeah, just go out and practice. A lot of people say it before, and I'll say it again. Don't worry about the failures. Don't worry about what other people think. Learn from what other people say if it's constructive criticism, and then just go out and learn from it and keep practicing.
Yeah, no, perfect advice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that at all. Absolutely. So, what have you got coming up then? What you got going on? Sounds like you're a busy fella at the best of times anyway.
Yeah, nothing set in stone. I've got some travelling to do this year. I've got a little trip planned to Berlin with my lad. Nice. So we're bound to get to see some amazing buildings, and I'd like to get over to the sort of like the socialist sort of brutal architecture type buildings and get to see some of the street art there and some of the artists that I know who display their work around that area. But I'd love to do another exhibition. I did one a few years ago, maybe collaborate with other street photographers in the Cambridge area. That'd be quite cool if we could get one sort of sorted out the latter part this year.
Yeah.
And also, I'd just love to get back in the darkroom again. I've been trying to find somewhere public access, but it's really hard around this area. Yeah, and get back out with my film cameras. Yeah. So I've still got my original Minolta X700 that I bought when I was a kid.
Wow.
Still great condition, still does some really good images from that. And I've got access to my Rolleiflex TLR and various other film cameras. So yeah, get some film, get out, get them processed. Love to get back in the darkroom.
Yeah.
Just love it.
Perfect. No, that sounds like a good goal, definitely. The thing is with those cameras, as long as you look after them, they go on for a lifetime, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, they look nice sat on the shelf, but I do like to get them out there and use them. That's what they were built for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, I'm glad we got to make it happen today because, it's one of those that, and it just, time just flies by and he's just trying to get everything come together. So yeah, your work's great.
No, we've been talking for a little while, so it's great to get it done, and I really appreciate the time, and I love your work as well.
Yeah,
it's great,
that.
You've you really inspire people and bring people together. It's been great.
Oh, I appreciate that. And the thing is, I think quite similar in the way we shoot anyway, in what things we shoot. So it is great to have someone that's got the same interests as well, which always helps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right,
I
but you
think you
take
do a
care.
bit more neon than I do.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm addicted. I've got an addiction.
Yeah.
Some people have sex addiction.
You
I've
know
got
what you
neon
like.
addiction.
You know what you like. It's great. No,
Absolutely.
cheers, Rob.
All right, you take care.
Yeah, thanks a lot, mate. We'll catch up soon.